Cecilia Attias, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So your book, already a bestseller in France, is called A Desire for Truth. That's how I am translating, Une envie de vérité. What truth do you desire so much to put out?
You know, I've been living in this country for all my life, for 50 years, and 25%, more than that, of my life was in public affairs. So I was married to a head of state, before minister, before congressman. And then, you know, when you work and you live with a statesman, it's very difficult to have the exact rule you want to have.
The exact role.
Yes, absolutely.
So everybody else is portraying your truth.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to just tell a story, the story of my life, starting when I was young, with my parents, with my family, the values, the thing that built me. And then through 55 years, what I've been through, my life, my story with Nicolas, 20 years in politics, and then now here, where I'm living in United States for almost 6 years.
You say Nicolas, obviously that's Nicolas Sarkozy, who was the French president. And it's been a very unconventional marriage, let's say, that you and he had, or at least you were an unconventional first lady, because you got there and then you left after 6 months. And everybody wants to know why. What was it that made you just take off?
When I left, it's like saying to the world, I want to live my own life. I just want to be myself. I just want not anymore to be the wife of Nicolas Sarkozy. I was very proud to be there, but he was elected. I was not elected. They didn't elect it for a couple. They vote for a man. And then I think my rule was not really clear, and I want to step out and have my own life.
You say that you weren't elected, but you also talk about how very closely you worked together. You were essentially, as you once described it to me, like his chief of staff when he was Minister of Interior. In the 20 years of his political life, you were right there, side by side. It was your victory as well.
It was a little bit my victory. I was working with him. I was his chief of staff when he was at the head of the party, the UMP, so I was officially the chief of staff. And I knew, as soon as I met with him, that he was a future president, that he was different, that he has this power, that he has this amplitude, we said in French, to be one day head of state. And I worked with him and I tried to protect him, to help him, to be on his side. But it was not my ambition. It was my ambition for him, which is quite different. So,
but did that kill love?
I don't know if it killed love, but it's, I mean, politics, it's 24/7, and it's during all year long. You don't have a family life. I mean, everything is for politics. So I think it doesn't kill love, but it can change people sometimes. So it was very difficult for me to exist, to have a rule and an official rule without critics, you know? It's not easy to do your job, because for me it's a job. To be on his side, it was a job for 25 years. So it's difficult not to have the press and the media judging you and asking what is she doing, I mean, and have a real rule. That's why I'm trying to convince people in French that the first lady or the wife of an elected man, whatever he is.
Or the man of an elected woman.
Or the man of an elected woman, that can happen even in our country, I hope, to have a very official rule.
A well-defined role.
And, you know, I'm not someone who likes flashlights. So I was not
the
really...
spotlights.
I was not really comfortable in this place. And I think he deserved to have someone on his side really, I mean, better than me at that time. Maybe.
So now I have to ask you, you think Carla Bruni made a better first lady?
At least she likes that. She likes the rule. She likes to be there, and maybe she likes the light much more than I like it.
Certainly she did spend her life in the spotlight. But let me ask you about the one major task you took on as First Lady, and that was to go to Libya to confront then dictator Muammar Gaddafi about the Bulgarian nurses, the Palestinian doctor who was sentenced to death because of a story whereby they were accused of basically spreading AIDS amongst people in Libya. You'd never negotiated with a head of state before. You'd never been in a life and death international incident before. What gave you the confidence and the strength to think that you could actually do this?
I think if you have the will. The first thing the first place I went when I just landed is to the prison. And I talked to those women, and they were like empty. You know, you were talking to
These are the nurses?
Yeah, the nurses. So I told him, I'm not here just to talk to you. I'm going to bring you back home. And then it's like a big, you know, like a mission, a will. You want to do that. And it was not easy at all.
Describe what happened and your first meeting with Gaddafi.
He asked me, why do you want those nurses and this doctor? I said, because they're going to die. I think I'm at the right moment at the right place, because you don't know what to do with them. They're going to die, and what's going to happen to you? So I give you the chance to release them and to change a little bit your image for the world. So we were arguing and talking a lot about that. And then I had to talk with his government, his prime minister, and then with the people of Benghazi, and then the son, Saif al-Islam, who is who's
now on trial.
Who's not on trial, and he was the toughest one. So we did it.
Your now husband, Richard Attias, was famed for being a worldwide master impresario. He put on events like the World Economic Forum at Davos for years, and many other things.
Yes.
And he was a strategist during the 2007 campaign.
Absolutely.
So right in there, doing much of the same work that you did. And he also had to pay, though, when you went off with him. His contract with Davos was cancelled abruptly.
Absolutely, and all his contracts. But it was a bad for a good thing, because now, I mean, they all came back, and he built himself from scratch, which is not easy at his age. And from nothing, from scratch, he has to rebuild completely his story and his professional life. So, but it was not an easy period of our lives.
What does he give you?
I think he is what I need today. I think we have different moments of our lives. I think we change, and I'm different, and he's the man who makes me happy today.
What about your future? You have a foundation. I was there when you launched your foundation for women around the world. What gives you the most satisfaction, the most impetus today? What do you get out of your foundation?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm fighting for all women's issues. We're fighting a lot of issues around the world. And I'm looking at, you know, that glass ceiling is still there.
Oh yeah, even here.
Even here. So I'm trying to help those women. It's a little piece of what I can do. But I'm looking around the world today, and there is few women, like in Chile, like maybe in Israel, maybe in those countries, maybe you here in the United States, Hillary Clinton will be elected. So
if she runs.
I mean, if she runs. And I think it's maybe we're going to change a little bit the world, and women will have the same rights as men. We deserve that.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great. That's what I'm fighting for.
And you, do you have, look, you have been a political person for many, many years. You helped your husband in all his roles, and including his winning the French presidency. Is it something you would dare to take on? Would you run for president?
I don't know. I've never been elected. So, but I love my country. I love politics. That's what I know. And I think France needs now to wake up.
Does it concern you? There is obviously a very prominent woman right now in the heart of French politics, Marine Le Pen, whose National Front obviously takes after her father's. It's getting quite a lot of success, and even your ex-husband had to lurch, or did lurch, to the right in his last election.
That's not the best idea. I think the extreme right, because the extreme right, that means it's the right of the party. When people are afraid, they're going for the extremes, which is not a good thing. So we have to be very careful with Marine Le Pen, because she's good, and she's frightening, because she could be, I mean, in one of the turns. So we have now.
Do you think she would ever be president of France?
I hope not. I really hope not.
I mean, they've never got more than 15%.
But look at the polls now. She's high. She's too high. So we have to fight against that with all our will, really, because that's really frightening.
What about your son, the child you had with Nicolas Sarkozy, Louis, who's now a teenager, and we all know that he has been at the military academy here in the United States since you've been living here. Tell me about that. Tell me about what you hope for him, what he wants, why a French boy in an American military academy. Tell me about that.
Do you know, he's a grown-up boy now. He's 16. He's there for almost 3 years. And he's a little American guy. He's so cute, and he's doing well, and he wants to join the U.S. Naval Academy here in the United States, which is great, and I will help him to do that. However his name is, he needs to be happy, he needs to have his own life, and I was there yesterday in his school to visit him, and he's completely in his country. That's home for him.
America's home for him.
Yes, America's home. So I need to help him to keep his own life, and even if he's the son of the former president of France, and he has to have his own life and to be happy wherever it is, and he's very happy here. That's his life, that's his home.
And what will make you happy?
What will make, to do something for the other ones. My life is all about that. I want to help people. That's what I'm doing through my foundation. I want to help women, and maybe someday in politics. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on you. Cecilia Attias,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you very much indeed.
Thank you.